I have a vision for my collection. 3 quarter scale figures. One from Marvel, one from DC, and one from Star Wars. I have the Marvel one. The DC one is on the way. Is this the Star Wars one that I need? Let's take a look. Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a quick look at the Hot Toys quarter scale Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett. Now there's 2 different SKUs or versions of this. There's the Qs22 and the Qs23. I'm pretty sure the cheaper one is the Qs22, that's $515, and then the Qs23, the deluxe version, is $625. Now the first thing I'm going to take a look at here is I want to make sure that we know the difference between the 2 of them, because this is actually, these are the promotional images. These are not the blogger images, and I just want to make sure that we take a look at everything that he comes before I show you the actual blogger images of the actual product and how it turned out. Right, so the deluxe version basically comes with the base. Everything else seems to be the same. So it's a diorama base and it lights up and stuff like that. Grand. Let's switch over and take a look at the actual product. So this came out today. This went live on the Hot Toys official Instagram and Facebook. It's out now in Hong Kong. I'm sure it'll be at Sideshow in the next few weeks or months. So first impressions are, that looks amazing. Like I mentioned in the intro, I am looking for a quarter scale like iconic Star Wars character. I mean, I've got the Mark III in quarter scale behind me. When I think of Marvel, especially MCU, that's what I think of. I've got the Dark Knight, the Christian Bale Dark Knight, the DX19 style quarter scale Batman on the way from Sideshow. It's actually my only order with Sideshow at the moment, for reasons I won't get into. Again, it's just that sounds like I was throwing shade at Sideshow, but I absolutely wasn't. But anyway, I'll move on. So it's my current live order with them. I wouldn't say it's my last because I got points built up. In fairness to Sideshow, they fairly throw out those points, or they used to anyway. Okay, so we're talking about this, the Book of Boba Fett quarter scale Boba Fett. Like initial thoughts, it does look good. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through to the head sculpt. Now the head sculpt here, they nail Tamora Morrison's likeness more often than not. Probably, with the exception of the in-art Joker, the best head sculpt in my collection, I think it might be that Tamora Morrison Boba Fett from the one that, you know, came with the Boba Robot 2-pack. It's just a shrink ray, and it helps that the character actually has no hair, because, you know, if you have sculpted hair, even though Hot Toys does really, really good sculpted hair, and they're constantly improving with their sculpts and their paint apps, sometimes that can take it out of you if you've poor sculpted hair, or even if you've really, really good sculpted hair. There's only so much they can do. But the fact that this guy's bald, I mean, that's as close to 10 as it gets in my collection anyway. It's up there with the Yondus and the Greats, in my opinion. Now this here is another excellent, it's an excellent head sculpt. I think there's maybe a small bit of softening from prototype to final product, but look, this is my first live impressions of this, but I actually think it's quite good. He's got the eyebrows back, because I believe the one behind me, yeah, has no eyebrows, and he's got more scarring because, you know, he came out of obviously that Sarlacc pit burnt the eyebrows off him, and he had scarring and stuff like that, but he spent a lot of time in the back of the tank. I know. We wanted to see him doing more action with the helmet on, but what we saw is him swimming a lot with the helmet off and walking around and being, you know, kissing babies and stuff like that. So look, like, for me, unfortunately, this isn't a triple threat, as in, it's, you know, do I love the character Boba Fett? Of course. Do I love the source material? I don't really like the source material of the Book of Boba Fett. There were some phenomenal episodes. Episode 5 and 6 were just spectacular, but not because of Boba Fett. He wasn't actually in it. And then the final one, do I like this version? I actually quite like this version, although my favorite is, it actually, I was going to say it's the original trilogy one, which I have there. But I gotta say, I love that one behind me there, the battle damage one, the post Sarlacc pit, the Boba Robo. I just think that is just, I love that, but I'm a sucker for battle damage. Yeah, so this wouldn't be my favorite. This wouldn't be my favorite look for him, although they're very, very close, let's be honest, okay? But so, a few things to notice there. He's obviously got the tighter pants on here. I think the pants on the, yeah, the pants on the one, the post Sarlacc pit one were a little baggier, and he had the kind of like the thing that, what's it called? You know, those little pieces that hung down. They're kind of like, it's almost like a skirt or something like that. The robes underneath or whatever. I remember they were kind of papery. In fairness, that's one criticism I do have of that particular figure. But this looks great. And quarter scale figures, albeit like, they're funny, like they have that statue presence, but you have more options because you can actually pose it. But then the flip side then is people who have statues, even though you can't pose it, the pose that they're in might be a stronger pose that you wouldn't be able to get a figure into. I actually really like the quarter scale series. Quarter scales, they're you know, you either like them or you don't. And I do actually quite like them. They have a lot more presence. Like, I don't tend to just collect 6 scale, but I gotta say, like, your eye does draw to that Mark III when I move in. And the head sculpt's pretty good, and all the accessories that it comes with, a nice base and light up parts and everything like that. But this here, yeah, I think there's maybe a small bit of softening from the sculpt, but I think this is still a great sculpt. Like, there's zero question. When I'm looking at this, it's almost like you're looking at the prototype images, and you're wondering, I wonder, will it turn out as good? But no, this did turn out great. Just with the, you know, the little wrinkles on the forehead there, and that was kind of remnants of the scar. I think the scar is more pronounced, if I do remember, on the 6 scale, because that was his story at the time. He hadn't got to back to pack. It's funny now that his eyebrows are back. Yeah, there's no question who that is. That's Tamora Morrison every day of the week. I think the outfit looks good. You got a small bit of weathering. You got that scratch on the helmet there as well. I presume this is pleather here. Just, I suppose, basically be very, very careful of it, and I suppose don't be taking the gun in and out of the holster this whole time. I think the less you touch that, the better. Also, depending on your climate as well, it might give you hassle. I actually really like the maroon coloured gauntlets and the little splashes of yellow. It's not my favourite suit, but look, there's subtle differences between all the Boba Fetts. There's subtle differences between even Empire to Jedi, and obviously there's less subtle differences from Jedi to post Sarlacc, heavily battle damaged, heavily weathered Boba Fett. And then there's, you know, another difference in this. Like this one, I have all the Boba Fetts I need, to be honest. The original trilogy, Empire Strikes Back, that's my favorite Star Wars movie, and then the Mando one. Like, for me, this series, it just didn't hit the mark. It just wasn't for me. I didn't think the writing was good enough, kind of went nowhere. I think it wasted a lot of time, and we, you know, we wanted to see more. I personally wanted to see more of him, like the way he took out that battalion of stormtroopers, or the way, like in that season 2 of Mandalorian, like with a gaffy stick, and then he gets the armor back and he takes down the 2, you know, spaceships they were in as well. Like that was just quality stuff. Or kind of like himself and Fennec went in and just took over Jabba's palace. I thought it'd be going to be more of that. But all that aside, this looks great, and like if I was getting this, I would be getting that diorama. That diorama base looks great. I believe it lights up. I'm not sure if it's USB powered. I'm gonna have a quick check for you here now. So is it USB powered? Where's the additional details? What's in the box? Accessories, additional accessories. USB connecting cable not included. Yeah, so it does light up. Specially designed diorama figure base. It does light up with USB powered, but the cable is not included. Yeah, like I think if you want a quarter scale Boba Fett, I think this is a very good representation. If you're kind of like an OT purist or something like that, maybe hang on or try to pick up that one. Does it come with a Sarlacc pit or something like that, the quarter scale one? I can't remember. I know that they've definitely done the quarter scale from original trilogy before, but this is, I think they've done a great job with this. Great job with the head sculpt, the proportions, the outfits. Yeah, I don't really, aesthetically, I no real complaints. It's just unfortunately from that looks cool. Some great photos here. That looks, that's the pose, like that. Well, actually, there's numerous different poses here that would look good in the shell, but that's very imposing, no pun intended. You put that on top of that light up base and get yourself USB so it's powered constantly. Like, that's the right job. Maybe I take it back about the softening. Could have been the photo there. You can see, okay, you can practically see the pores on his bald head. In fairness, yeah, bravo Hot Toys. I think they've done a great job of this head sculpt, outfit, the weathering details, the base. I want to take a closer look at that base. Some great posing here. It does look fairly articulatable. Is that the word I'm looking for? Come on, show us a bit more of that base. I presume they're going to show us pictures of the base. Right, they don't really show us too many. I think we're on full circle here, but yeah, look, that's the end of this video. Yeah, this looks great. It's going to look great in a collection if you're a quarter scale collector, if you want this. But yeah, because obviously because of the way this series went, the only thing I'm interested really in this from series is that Cad Bane, because that episode was awesome. But yeah, look, that's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know if you're picking this up or not. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. That's it. That's the end of the episode. See you in the next one. Good luck.